Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, three bangers in one round. Let's go. Three bangers in one. Let's go. Okay. Um, Stay tuned. Right after this live, we're going to, of course, do the full moon ceremony in Aquarius right quick. Just gonna break down the next 2 weeks for ya. Mr. 3P in the building. And with that being said, I do want to talk about this Mars in Virgo transit that will run from July 12th to the 20 to August 26th. XX Amazing Fruit said, "Can we use PayPal for tarot card draw instead of super chat?" Yes, I have PayPal available. I have Venmo available, and I have Super Chat available. You can see all that in the description box below. Um, I usually don't do tarot these days right now, but for this transit talk, if any of you would like a tarot card, I do have the Pokemon deck right next to me. Yes, this will be left public. All transit talks are public. These are not membership exclusives. All right. So you already know what it is. Okay. That also being said, relative to the tarot, I had an amazing tarot reading this morning with the Cosmic Energy Tune-Up. Shout out to, of course, Danielle, super psychic. It was very amazing. Very amazing. I kind of, sometimes the tarot could be so accurate. It is profound. And every time I take like a break away from tarot and kind of step away from it, I come back on like stupid on point. So I'm definitely looking for it. And speaking of on point, we got this Virgo magic. Okay. Virgo is the magic of precision. So Virgo's expression, Virgo's third house expression is, of course, Scorpio. And if you think that the third house expresses, the fifth house expresses the full expression in town, the third house expresses the attitude. The attitude of Virgo is Scorpio. Virgo is precision. Scorpio is specificity. That's why Scorpio's intuition is so uncanny. They can intuit specifically the quality of and wisdom of their wisdom. Okay. And, outside of that, shout out to the Virgos in the building. Shout out to those of you with Virgo planets in your chart. By the time we step into 29 degrees of Mars Virgo, with the Mercury retrograde, that we see both of these points opposite Neptune. And Farah, thank you. I got your PayPal. This is putting you in a position to realistically, by this point, take everything that you've been mastering in the activation and integration of your power, and you will have stepped into total mastery. Everything that at this crucial point, you're starting to begin to break through into integration, because we're going to break through Libra to Sag, but everything you're starting to integrate and see the seed break through the ground, this is going to bring mastery. And because of the trine to Uranus, there's a hyper accelerated quality with which things are going to click for you. Things that you may have felt would take longer to learn, but you've learned the lessons unconsciously coming through, like a wax on, wax off kind of dynamic, where you've been training with things that you felt were on a certain level, but apply to greater levels. The greater levels unseen are the opposition to the metaphysical Pisces axis. And it's cool to know what the T-square coming through, facilitating an ascended understanding of your real awareness of your behavior. I think the coolest thing about this transit is Mars is going to master your power, and then the sun following through is going to be aware of everything you mastered and activate it. So it's like the planets moving in front of the sun set the trail of what the sun will go over and activate. Even if the sun is leading, then the planets will come through and, of course, pick up on that activation. So the Mars transit and the sun transit through Virgo are coming into Libra season, bringing you full mastery. And ladies, I cannot wait till Virgo season, y'all. I talked about this during the extended Magic Moon message. But it's very important for you to understand that the Virgo seasons that we're going to have 2023 and 2024 are it. They're bringing the biggest plot twist ever. And that means Virgo with Mars and Mercury are setting up that plot twist right now that the sun is still in Leo. So this Mars Virgo transit starts with the sun in Leo. No, it starts with the sun in Cancer at the end of Cancer, through Leo, and then it ends with the sun just entering Virgo. So a lot of this preparation to master the power of your desire, what's being analytically and critically perfected here is the intent and the expression of how you act on your desire. For you Hunter x Hunter fans, Hatsu is what I like to consider Mars, okay? Relative to, of course, the sun, that's going to be your Nen, your aura. The sun rising will be the embodiment, but your sun is going to be the conscious life force expression of your aura. Mars is the actual action to release it. And if we actually look at the last 6 months, it's very important to study the transit of Mars. Okay. 6 months ago, Mars was in Gemini, which is pretty cool. And I wanted, and okay, there we go, guys. We had the Mars retrograde in Gemini. So the Mars retrograde that we had at the end of the year in Gemini is very crucial to this because everything that we activated as far as reevaluating how we think about our power, now we're going to be perfecting the behavior of the attitude we step through. Mars retrogrades, of course, which happen once every 2 years. So, or at least Mars transits the zodiac once every 2 years, but I think once every 2 years we have a Mars retrograde. This is very significant because now that it's beginning to square this point, it puts you in a position to once again capitalize. And with the Neptunian aspects, your relationship with psychic attacks and negative projections are in light of your increased sense of telepathy, having you make a full-on counterattack. Because just by you resting in your authenticity, a lot of the projection of negative psychic attack is, whether these people are conscious or not, induced to change your behavior. It is a negative shame guilt protocol so that at a subconscious level, you either promote inner doubt in yourself by feeding these voices or feeding that projection, or within you, because these could be, of course, projections within your own subconscious that you can hear or see, whatever. But this is very powerfully because you're resting in your authenticity and you're realizing it's not about proving yourself. It's not about responding to these people or energies. It's about just staying in your energy. And you're realizing that the tactics that are being used against you, these people resign, they're not working. And this is adding to your strength. And that's what that weird feeling is, especially with the Neptunian vibe, because you are inadvertently making these ops level up. And I don't think that they like that. Now they're coming into greater character development through you just being yourself, when these people look down on you, which is why they project what they project, because they're intimidating. These people's pride and ego do not allow them to see that they're snitching on themselves. So the best thing about this Virgo transit is last year during Virgo season with Jupiter and Pisces, mind you, this was with that divine opposition, the change of 12 years worth of the perception that society has on you completely changing. And then Libra season shifted the power balance. Unconscious to these individuals, it's conscious this year. This year is where you are experiencing more of that dynamic. And this year coming into Virgo season is where now you start to be aware of how this change of behavior put you in the position you're in. It's one thing for someone to hurl insults at you. It's another thing when it's not based in reality. So you're seeing them literally project, and this is adding to your mental strength. Given that you don't fall back into pride and feel like you have to respond to people who don't know what they're talking about. Okay, and exactly. They're always telling on themselves. The reason why I'm saying they is now that the energy is moving out of individuality into social, bearing the collective transits, it is in this integration, bringing elements of how much you've evolved your confidence in yourself and subsequently deal with these dynamics. And that's the coolest thing about this year and next year, especially with the Pisces energy. Every single bit of your relationship with people in your life who have undermined you consciously or unconsciously in a societal sense. So we're not just talking about individuals, people who represent an individual's thought process or collective thought process. Please understand that a lot of people were comfortable looking at what you do as not necessarily as important, but that was never true. So now that that social pressure is getting pushed back by the individuality of your authenticity alone, and a lot of these cheap shots aren't working, now people have to bring substance to get at you to really stop you. Remember, this is unconsciously done to stop what you're doing. You didn't stop, you keeping it moving. Now people are having to get in their bag, and they're realizing that they don't have the substance that they assume they have. They're realizing they don't have the substance through you, who without even trying, your juice, your sauce, your substance is exposing them, is bringing out uncharacteristic emotions in them because they have deep-seated insecurities that just by you being yourself, just by you being yourself, you know what I'm saying? You expose. And these people know what we're talking about because they don't bring receipts. They bring their opinions, which is a sign of weakness, really, because you're triggering these aspects of the social collective in the ways they express themselves. And yeah, like Dreaming with Tess says, I'm glad we can help them heal because this is all Chiron and Aries healing. But the thing here is with this Virgo season and Leo season we're coming into, now you're fundamentally changing the relationship dynamics between everyone you've ever been with. And it doesn't have to be super dramatic in most cases, but because you have fundamentally evolved and are continuing to evolve, this is where during these next 4 months, you see these shifts. What's immediately going to happen is in most cases, most people are going to realize that they completely misjudged you. And this puts you in a position to realistically fall back, especially through this Venus retrograde, and accept support and accept friendship from people who openly or behind your back disrespected you. And personally, I would tell you to tell them to go F themselves. Even if they mean well. I'm not trying to tell you or influence you to just not forgive people. You have discernment to know, of course, who means well. But please understand your presence is a present. And relative to an influence of those who were so casual to take advantage of what you're worth, what Venus in retrograde is doing this Leo season is glowing you up post Jupiter Aries evolution. And so, socially, now that the perception around you is changing, what people didn't see in you before, they're starting to see more now. They're starting to see how other people are showing you love. They're starting to see how the price went up. And so the biggest thing with this Leo energy that you will see behind the Virgo, which I'll show you, is that personally, okay, you want to be careful about people wanting to invest in you for clout. This is the biggest thing. Like certain people who might not even have been interested in you, which are now interested for all the wrong reasons. You may not yet have accepted or be aware of the fact that you are clouding up, because certain people expect a dramatic experience of this. If they don't get like millions of followers, they're not going to feel like they gain some kind of notoriety. It's amazing how we use the term followers and following to denote fame too, which is very hilarious. But you're going to start to see greater interest. But how do you know that's their interest? Beautiful question. And that's a whole lot of what the Venus retrograde is going to really help straighten out, you know? as you are going to continue to break through relative to these developments. But I think it's very important to really embrace more so who you are aware of through the mask really respects you, really honors you, okay? Because a lot of this is going to happen super fast. Everything about this Virgo transit with Mercury, Mars, and the Sun is preparing you for Libra. This Libra season, y'all, this year and next year is unlike any other Libra season we've ever had, just due to the North Node Chiron alone. And the king comes with the yacht, with Uranus and Pisces. It is an adjustment, it is a crystallization of everything you've been mastering. So let's actually go back, because this was 2022. If we, of course, I want to bring you guys to, of course, see how long Mars is in Gemini, guys? I want to bring you guys to Mars in Aries. A year ago and some change, we started this Mars transit 0 degrees. Okay. You bet you we doing a clapback Libra season. Monica, I got you. Good looks. We can do it during the Libra season, cosmic energy tune up. So what's really key here is everything that you activated here in May, you are literally on the verge of mastering. And that's why we have to take a serious look at this, because Mars literally activated evolution with Jupiter, Gemini season. Very, very, very important. We started this Mars cycle kicking into Aries next to Jupiter and Aries. I can't emphasize really alone how important that is. Of course, before Jupiter even retrograded into Aries, and then it retrograded back into Pisces, and then of course coming into 2023 went through Aries. So that retrograde in Gemini is very key, because this was where you started to come into the true effect of how your actions induce enlightenment in your thoughts relative to aspects of causality and those magical mechanics that bind you. Because this was still in a Gemini sense, you're not really conscious of it. And on top of that, given how limited of consciousness you may have, it's not until now that this is in Virgo that you start to produce the real effects. Okay. You're producing the real quality Taurus, but now that extends to Virgo, where you start to see the effects on your behavior. So that's the very most important first thing that I want to illustrate about this transit. We started May, everything that you kicked in the gear, May 26th. If we now look at now, Mars is 13 degrees. Okay. Since May 26th, 2022, we're in August 2023 now. It is taking that long with the Mars retrograde, okay, to now finally make Mars go into Virgo. So that 29-degree Mars Virgo is near opposite where Mars was last year. And I want you to go back to that date, everything you have done, because Mars is action. Mars is literally the accelerator on a vehicle. Everything that you have done to develop your desire and action output is mastering relative to this cycle. So once it steps into Libra post August 26th, okay, this is where you're in a position to bridge this mastery of power and, like an agent, start working. Okay, start taking the steps in advance before the sun comes through to make you aware of the quality of your actions, the power of your social actions, and who you're bridging with. And this is why this is cool, because this year and next year, whereas it may have felt like you were getting jumped collectively and having to build defense, now you're on the offense. That's North Node Aries. You've just activated new abilities. You're going to use those new abilities to lay the smackdown vibrationally, physically, emotionally, spiritually on any vibe that thinks they can fuck with you. And the exhilaration that comes with this personal sense of power takes into account the total mastery of everything you've activated and integrated. Stop wasting your time with people who are committed to misunderstanding you. The Mars in retrograde Gemini transit and the subsequent Gemini transits coming into this year have completed 12 years of that Jupiter cycle. So there are truths, there are definitive truths about you that you don't have to argue with people about. Saying it is enough because it's the truth. You don't need to prove it to other people. You are the proof. And that simplifies in this very analytical Virgo season. Virgo Libra is heavy debate. And the thing with Virgo is we can get so caught up on petty details that that's why Gemini squares Virgo. Virgo teaches Gemini to filter out what's real instead of just saying everything. But Gemini reminds Virgo to focus on what's true. Just because certain things are real, it doesn't mean that it's true. Okay. For example, it's real that your girlfriend went out with another guy last night. And you can look at that fact and believe they were cheating, but that's not the truth. That's where sometimes Virgo gets it wrong. The truth was that that friend was related to that person. Like they have no romantic interest in each other. Okay. So this is where you're going to personally adjust the perception between how you make real and express the reality of everything you have broken through about you that's true. And the coolest thing, once again, about this Mars transit moving forward, once we get to that point, you're literally going to sense that a lot of things you have been struggling to learn and master, you have mastered. And that's the significance of Mercury that will be retrograding near the end of said transit, because it's going to reevaluate how your brain processes the fact that you're utilizing mastered abilities and techniques. So the way you approach every experience and facet of your routine is effectively going to change your behavior. Kind of like how you used to drive a bicycle, now you drive a motorbike. Now the Mercury retrograde is, since I've mastered driving this motorbike, I used to drive a bicycle here. Now I'm driving a motorbike. I'm reconfiguring my brain to take in and integrate the upgrade of the vehicle I use, which of course introduces a change of behavior. The extreme quality of evil and darkness that you'll see these unhinged peons express towards your majesty, talking about you, is going to light a deeper fire. Yeah, I said that through Leo season, that these same people, like that's the crazy part about the next 2 years. These same influences that looked at you like, oh, you're nothing, are going to look at you like, holy fucking shit, we awakened a monster. Like the whole time you were going through what you were going through, from the outside looking in, your kindness was taken for weakness. These influences didn't necessarily realize that at any point you could clap them and they're finna get clapped straight like that. They fucked around and they found out. And I know I'm taking a militant attitude about this, but many of you are going to do this just by being yourself, just by walking in integrity. We're about to start bodying these agents. And the Virgo season transit is your montage practice scene before you body these agents. Libra season is literally clicking up with your crew to body agents through Scorpio and Sagittarius. And Mars is militant. Okay. So it's very beautiful. You're like Carissa, you're gonna love doing this too. And of course, we're gonna do it unapologetically. Okay. So it's cool. Your clap is a snap. You getting clapped. Yeah, snap. I love it. Just you laughing and stepping into the whole nature and quality of, your happiness as a higher vibration offsets the negativity they want you to feel in. And I hate saying they, because our enemy is not flesh and blood. We're dealing with unseen principalities, powers, thrones, fallen angels. And it's important to remember that they use human flesh vessels to trick you and make you forget that these useless puppets are not your ops. They're just useless puppets who are useless because they allow themselves to get possessed. And they take advantage of your kindness, they take advantage of your compassion. But discernment lets you know when to be compassionate and when to clap motherfuckers. Please don't excuse my language. This is really important because the nature of how you're going to be clapping is going to be, remember, you've just evolved your power. So you're going to be like, whoa, I didn't even know it was this powerful. That's because you leveled up. And this is the first time since leveling up that you're social with it. So you're coming out. Okay. So let's actually go through really quickly what highlights we can expect from this transit. All right. Once again, for those of you who would like a live reading, all right, if you click the description box below, just send me your sun, moon, and rising, or email me your chart. The minimum is 30, and I will interpret what this Mars transit will be for you. I also want y'all to know, and I'm going to mention this again at the end of the transit. Of course, I do have 15 slots available for Mercury in Virgo and also Mars in Virgo. Okay, I have the Mars in Virgo 2023 transit. It's $100. But if you use the discount code MARS, you will get $50 off. The first 10 people to use that discount code, you get it for 50. Okay. Highly recommend. Of course, I'm only going to have this service till the 26th. Once Mars is in Libra, I'll put the Mars in Libra transit talk up. But yeah, highly recommend for those of you who want to know exactly how, in relation to your Mars, you're going to be expressing this, what to look forward to. It's definitely worth every penny. You know, I come through. And before I come back to that, let us, of course, now speak about the transit. Okay. Right now, Mars is 13 degrees, King Kunk's the moon. Why is this important, ladies and gentlemen? I know you can see it. Mars, as we speak right now, even though this says August 2nd, which is very interesting. Is this universal time? This is universal time. Even though it says April 2nd, right? As we speak right now, given that Mars, yep, it's 13 degrees. Get this. Not only do we have the square with the moon and Jupiter. Oh my gosh, I did not plan this, guys. This is insane. This is fucking insane. By the way, if you guys want tarot too, I'm going to be doing tarot. 1 card for 20, 2 for 30, 3 for 40. But once again, it's happening right now. So we are already stepping into the evolution of your mastery. Do you remember what I showed you May of 2022? I showed you that Mars conjuncted Jupiter. So we started off the Mars and Aries cycle with an evolution of your action ability and your desire. This made you more horny. This made you super fucking horny. Especially for those of you who have been super horny since then, this is going to start to temper the horniness before it gets into Scorpio and you just reawaken more thirstiness. But it's cool because you're perfecting how much control you have through this. So ever since that conjunction, like May 28, 2022, we have finally hit the 90-degree angle. Look at that. Well, no, I'm wrong. We have finally hit the 120-degree angle. So the Mars in Leo was the square that since May of last year broke it through the ground. And now we're fully expressing the evolution. That means this exact trine with Jupiter today, everything moving forward from today is a more streamlined sense of the water flowing through you. So moving forward from today, you're going to come into, especially with Mercury, once that trines Jupiter, more mastery. The quality of the strength of your physiology, you're going to align fluid, perfect expression of your behavior and how the physical experience of this quality of your physical strength is expressed. And this is especially for those of you who have been struggling with this whole hit miss ratio. If anything, you're going to see you are, of course, hitting more, all right, before the opposition where it's complete. So that's the first thing that we want to kind of highlight here. Mercury is also very important too. Mercury trailing Mars is every time you do something, your brain is going to pick it up like, oh, you did this. Like if Mercury wasn't there, you would be doing it and you wouldn't write it down. You'd be like, oh, I did that the other day. Mercury is like, oh, and this is how he did it. Oh, okay, so he did this, this, and that. He tugged on his dick a little bit, and then he made $500. That's crazy. Okay, okay, he did it. So, like, once Mercury retrogrades, you're gonna bring the notes that your brain has been taking. It's like, okay, we did this, and you're gonna perfect. It's gonna hit the sun. You're gonna give your consciousness those notes, and your consciousness is gonna move forward and be like, what? I can tuck my dick and do what? Beautiful. Sorry, horrible joke. All right. Personally, this puts you in a position to now step into more of a creative element of how magically you're stepping into this perfection. We have to once again see this as a total mastery of new superpowers you post Cancer season have legitimately activated. And now that we're integrating this, the Leo season portion of this, with the sun trailing behind Mars, is transcending your awareness of how your actions are shifting your beliefs of what's possible for you to accomplish through this. Okay. And this is very beautiful because once again, we're here. Even the moon that's King Kungsing this is giving you, you guys are amazing, is giving you the advanced cosmic knowledge that the actions you're taking are transforming how you know. All right. And yes, it is activated. I love that. Okay. Personally, by the time you go to sleep and wake up, right? Thank you, which is crazy for a Gemini. By the time you go to sleep and wake up, you're going to be literally taking more streamlined action towards this. All right. Now, the next thing to embrace on this train right here is from 13 degrees, right? From today, we got that moon in Pisces, by the way. Moon in Pisces, let's talk about that. The next couple of days with moon in Pisces is going to adjust how much more mastery you step into, because the moon in Pisces will help you understand unseen dynamics that help you adjust everything you see that's real. Okay. And that's just going to be like, oh, I can perfect it more like this. Boom. Then we move into the moon in Aries and we on motherfucking fire. So once Mars, ooh, this is hilarious. Once Mars comes into, I want to say, yeah, 22 degrees, right? What do we see in the chart? First of all, the sun in Leo is getting ready to reach Venus retrograde. Boom. So let's talk about this, because basically we have the Venus retrograde, and then if we move a couple more days, bam boogie. Okay. Right as we're having the new moon. So this is very iconic. Right now, the moon is in Aquarius and Mars is trine Jupiter. So once Mars starts to trine Uranus, the moon is going to be in Leo. That means this 2-year week process, this 2-week process from now until then is extending forth the evolution. You're so adorable. The evolution of how strong you master your abilities. And coming into that 2-week period, the trine of Uranus is going to unconventionally enhance the sudden awakening of how you apply genius and innovation. That means right now, as we speak, you are leveling up how much more masterfully you can do everything you've been learning to master. There's going to be an enhancement that brings a higher quality of knowing what you're doing. And that bridge over the next 2 weeks, coming by the time it trines Uranus, is going to bring unconventional dynamics, supernatural dynamics that with this expansion will help you automatically understand. And so it's very important personally that we do see here, and it's a very amazing to look forward to, because this is the real problem. The reason why I'm so excited about this is I've been talking my ass off about superpowers for so long. You're awakening superpowers. You're awakening superpowers. You're awakening superpowers. You're awakening superpowers. We're still gonna be awakening. Like, now, the next stage of awakening is going to be, now that we've awakened superpowers, we're going to awaken deeper quality of energy harnessing, because with your power you generate and harness energy. So that entire superpower awakening was just one of like three major chapters, if you want to say it like that. It could even be one of more chapters, right? But now we are finally reaching the point of this stage of awakening and evolution where you are understanding exactly how these powers express themselves. A lot of the supernatural power you are awakening awakened passive elements of, personally, how you, let's just say, express your abilities. It's like you have a cell phone and that cell phone is waterproof. So that's a passive effect of your phone, but you never personally still use the phone's app. So you still don't know what your phone can do. You've just been seeing, oh, these are just the properties of the outer shell of the phone. Now we're starting to come in to create talents and putting you in a position to realistically fully express this, where by the time this goes to Libra, you're on stage presenting this to a crowd. It's no longer practice. It's no longer just gaining experience. All right. And that's what's going to make this just kind of happen, just crescendo all this, especially for the supernova activations that some of you may have had. And personally, this is going to, during this period, take the effort of manifestation, and your experience of this is going to be so much more aligned to the desire of how you're able to just facilitate seemingly like miracles, even in a sense where it may seem like it didn't work, but then it worked better when it actually came through. Unlocking other branches of the ability tree, like in RPGs. I love that. Okay. Because if you take the RPG analogy, up until this point, we've just unlocked the skills and abilities, but now we're getting ready to take those awakened skills and abilities. All right. I love it. And we're creating techniques. This is the process of what's occurring. And it's putting you in a position um to personally, also open up this unique sense of exactly how you are more in a position to angle the direction with which you're going to move forward. Because the most important thing about this Virgo transit is you're fundamentally transforming your behavior. And this transformation of your behavior is relative to the recent evolution of who you are. So what Libra season means with this Taurus energy, that eighth house of transformations, Libra, is your relationships over the next 2 years are going to fully transform because of this evolution. 2018 was where you started to see this every Libra season, just this weird element that's slowly but surely unconsciously changing it. It's going to hit hard. It's going to hit hard. Okay. It's going to hit super hard. All right. It's Joy Boy. I just seen that episode. I don't even watch One Piece, y'all. But I saw that the last episode I saw was right after he lost against Kaido. And I don't watch One Piece, but I'm gonna watch that Joy Boy episode. But anyway, I like that because that whole thing of Luffy entering Gear 5 is what's happening to you right now. Luffy got his ass whooped. And the thing that's cool about that concept is that he used all of his energy. And that's another thing that's going to bring so much exhilaration. You may be realizing that everything that used to work with you and work for you before, One Piece, everything that used to work for you before, right? Oh, is Gear 5 the fifth house? That's a really good question. isn't working, right? Like you used all of your strength, and that does not apply to everyone. But let's just say, with, of course, the concept, it's like everything that used to work for you before is not working. And that's because now that you are surrendering, this is allowing your true power to express through that, through the stress was needed to awaken what you're stepping into. And thankfully, the psychological games that people are also playing are at more of a level being realized to have never really been effective. And that's the disillusionment with the Pisces energy with now Virgo. Once again, yes, sort of like men with condition and restrictions. Jonathan, God bless you. The condition and restrictions are the Saturn opposition in the creation of your techniques, the conviction that you will be guided to make in alignment with your integrity. So you're going to be able to develop your techniques. Conditions and restrictions mean, okay, if I don't talk to liars, then my fist will be 5 times stronger. That's a horrible example, but it's like making promises to yourself that unlock abilities. Like, okay, um, I will have unlimited energy as long as I never get in a relationship. And that's a conviction, right? That's once again a horrible example because what conditions you set will be aligned with you. But this is what's going to begin to kind of unveil. Now, here's an example of what this is going to look like. I'm going to be using a Pisces sun as an example. So he doesn't really count because he's a Pisces. So like when I say that, the results Pisces get, don't feel like you have to catch up to it because these Pisces are unreasonable and they just be out here doing supernatural shit like it's normal. Okay, I'm about to put you on blast, sir. But shout out to this legend right here because I think that what he's doing is super amazing. And people can think that what he's doing is fake, but I'll let you be the judge, okay? Because I know it's real. And I want you to look at this concept right here. Shout out to Elisha Eternal. This is his Instagram. And look at what he's putting out here, okay? There you go. There you fucking go. That was telekinesis right there. That's Elisha Eternal. So the reason why I'm showing that video, shout out to the legend, Elisha, you're seeing him practice his technique. That is an ability right now that he's practicing. So, and I'll show it again. I'll show it again. Pharaoh, since you missed it, I'm gonna show it again. This is a huge breakthrough. You're going to see a lot more kids too in the new generation openly show these powers. But this isn't a power, it's a basic ability. It's a basic mental ability. He's a Pisces. That's why it's next level. So the reason why I'm showing you this is just like he's practicing, you're practicing that too. You may not be aware of it, but Virgo sun is going to give you the conscious awareness of perfecting these abilities. So just like you've seen him pull that down. By the time Virgo season is over, dude will probably be able to levitate stuff and probably make stuff go forward. There's a development progress that we are initiating going through this. So I'm showing you that first video relative to, of course, oh my God, sunshine shining. Here we go. Relative to the progress, where you're starting versus where you're going to end by the 26th in less than 20 days is going to be considerable. Why? Because of Jupiter and Taurus, strengthening the quality that you are fueling, death card, relative to, of course, the nature of your development. All right. So the first question you might ask is, Peace Dealer, how the fuck do we do this? Virgo is how. Every single degree through this Virgo transit, you're going to be gaining insight on how. So be patient on yourself. Another thing is projections. 180 degrees are ops. All right. Thankfully, we don't have any squares. But the negative projection that personally will put you in a position to respond to it, don't fall for that. Only respond to what's true. You may be baited in on losing your focus by, of course, really, getting distracted by nonsensical nonsense and people who just want a reaction out of you. So the sensitivity of Virgo can induce more criticism, and just be at peace with yourself, because it's going to level you up considerably. It takes an incredibly strong mind to swallow your pride and just let idiots be idiots. Don't argue with an idiot, because two people will look at both of you like you're both fools. That's an ancient proverb. And once we reach that 2-week period from now, that's where the development is going to be on fire. Moving forward, of course, once we step into the rest of this transit and Mars now starts to oppose Neptune, especially with the moon, post new moon in Leo, because the new moon in Leo is going to activate the energy that we are effectively wiring in our body. And this is where it's fully expressing. That opposition to Neptune is going to delineate the metaphysical influences that you will be directly harnessing to channel through your physical actions. And as the sun goes into Virgo, you will come into more of an awareness of adjustment. I can't wait to break down Virgo season, y'all. It's the great plot twist. Well, I'm not going to say the great plot twist. It's the legendary plot twist. And everyone in the world is about to get their heads twisted unless you're woke. And I hate to use that word. I fucking hate that word. Unless you're aware, unless you're actually, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if you believe in, I'm going to use vaccines as an example because it's polarizing. It doesn't matter if you believe in taking it, or it doesn't matter if you don't believe in taking it. It's not that one side is woke and one's not. It's all individual. So for those of you who are aware, whereas everyone else is going to be screwed by that plot twist, you're going to be ready. That Mars in at the end is like, I'm ready to take it to Libra and go right down that North Node in Aries. All right. And that's how we're going to close the transit. Once again, for those of you who want more detailed insight and analysis, please, you better get that snapshot transit. Okay. Can we have a taster? Echoist expression. The taster is now. Moon is quincunxing 13 degrees, 13 of transformation, 4 breakthrough. Okay. And it is trining Jupiter. This is the first taste we're going to come into, so that 2 weeks from now, we have developed more of this taste, and we're getting ready to innovate this and take this beyond our imagination. All right. And yeah, that's going to lead us to the end of the transit. The trine to Pluto is going to strengthen how deeply awakening this process is. By the time, of course, that happens with the moon on Pluto, the Mars will be in Libra. And that, ladies and gentlemen, in a nutshell, is everything that you can hope to accept this transit. Now, one thing to also keep in mind, given the aggression of Mars and Virgo's pettiness in masterful ways, I say that with respect, this is going to have you pull receipts on why people should not fuck with you. And it's not like you're going to tell people, this is why you shouldn't fuck with me. Your behavior alone is going to sharpen this intent. Remember, Virgo is the sign where, so we had this piece in Aries, we awakened. We had this piece in Taurus, we awakened. We had this piece in Gemini, we awakened. We had this piece in Cancer, we awakened. Libra is where we take Leo's where we take those 4 pieces and we begin to put it together. And Virgo is where we now put it all together. All right. Leo is the courage, and Virgo is where we begin to put all that together. This is where your powers are forming. And the reason why this Virgo season is different is since the first Virgo season in 200 years that we're having, or 180 years that we're having Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. And the first time in 30 years, we're having a Virgo season with Saturn and Pisces. So this awareness opposite, of course, Saturn is going to give you such a crucial, insight and analysis on how the world is fucking ending. Like people already see it, but you're going to really see it. Carrie, thank you for your Venmo. I'm going to start with you for the astrology. Okay, you want a reason, receipt, check, please, new receipt, baby. So once again, it's really a lot to look forward to here because relative to the challenging of your own mind that will really take you the distance, it really does once again do a whole lot of totally mastering your power. And this is going to get ready for you to present it. So by the time Mars is in Libra, Elisha is showing his telekinetic ability at will to people by the time we're in Libra season. Okay. So Devin, oh my gosh, I'm getting there. All right. So first we do have Farah. I'm going to do a tarot card for you. But before we do that, let me pull 3 cards for you. In fact, I haven't done pick a cards with the minor arcana. So let's see what we get with this Pokemon deck. I'm going to pull 2 cards for you right now. The main message that we have for Mars and Virgo. Yes, this is why we love Devin. So we do have the 9 of Cups. I'm not fucking playing with you guys. A lot of heart's desires and wishes are being fulfilled during this period. Virgo is the harvest. And so once you realize that what you're harvesting has been put into work since last year in May, it's going to really hit a lot harder. And the main card we have is the 6 of Pentacles, Moon in Taurus. So this is financial balance, but it's also financial flow. It's also be careful what you wish for. I love that we got the wish come true card and the be careful what you wish for card, because it is really reminding you that, it's not a joke out here in these streets, and everything that you are persisting is going to come through. And that time lag was never really a time lag. It was just really more adjustment that you're not really going to be experiencing to a crazier quality moving forward. It's going to be more balanced. Neptune and Mars are pointing at this quincunx, right? And Pluto and Neptune are pointing at Mars. So that quincunx is what's going to crystallize the mastery of it versus just going through Virgo. All right. So the next card I'm going to pull is, of course, the 4 of Cups, Moon in Cancer, and we have the 6 of Swords. So you are sailing through this stuck feeling of not really knowing what direction to move forward in, and new insight is going to blast you forward to activate the full integration of these abilities. So we're going to do a 3-card pick a card reading, and then Farah, I got you with the tarot card. Carrie, I got you with the live reading. Once again, any of you who want the live reading, please let me know. For those of you who want the actual reading, once again, it is available there until the 26th. So we have 1, 2, 3. The card that you choose is the energy and intent you're going to move through with this Mars and Virgo. And we have 7 of Pentacles, which is Saturn and Taurus. Shout out to the builders of the new Earth with Pluto Sag. 7 of Pentacles is saying to you are investing in this progress. There's a promise of fortune that coming into the end will pay off very well. So if you pick pile number 1, one thing that's very important is there's the beliefs about you, and then there's the facts about you. Throughout this Sun and Leo, Virgo, Libra transit, you're going to be experiencing a whole bunch of doubt and lies and projections from people's vision outside looking in. And the Virgo is just going to be through your behavior. Bitch, you're wrong. Facts, bitch, you're stupid. How dare you, bitch? Facts, receipts. And this is going to be so amazing because you're not even going to have to say anything. You're just acting out. So don't fall for people's bluffs who just want reactions from you because your authenticity challenges their beliefs and they're stupid, weak little bitches. Just move forward accordingly and know that you can take on anything in alignment of your own integrity with God. Anyway, pile one, we do have, of course, Mr. Mime, Seven of Swords. If you pick pile one, you're going to be pulling receipts and exposing everyone around you. Everyone's going to be catching strays. This is why you want to really step into this level of patience because the next card after was the death. Because personally, you'll see that people's intent, even in people who mean well, can literally derail the path of your authenticity because of what they feel you should be versus who you feel you should be. So, Seven of Swords is a card of people moving around sneakily. This is you exposing the bejesus out of people. And it's going to change your perception around who you can trust. In fact, for some of you, you're going to be stealing home base. So if you pick pile one, the development of your technique, you're probably going to keep secret outside, especially because you're exposing receipts. There's going to be a unique strategic way you express this without revealing too much, especially if you're worried that the expression of this and mastery of this power could get you unnecessary attention. If you pick pile two, we have Metapod, the Hangman, surrender completely, which is beautiful with the Seven of Pentacles. You may not really need to know exactly how. Your entire perception is going to completely change during this period by literally just surrendering and allowing the experience to happen for this whole transit, allowing what you're developing to develop. You are the metapod that's going to become a butterfree. You're getting ready to transform your whole personality. Another message about surrendering. For those of you who have to surrender, you're surrendering because you did everything you have to do. A card like the Hangman comes up when you might be doing too much and you kind of falling back and letting God, your higher self, come through is going to help. You're not letting go of your desire. You're surrendering your doubt. You're surrendering your fears. How good does it feel to just let go everything you can't control? That's why I used to hate the Hangman. Hangman is beautiful. All right. And finally, pile three, we do have the Five of Cups. So this is going to process major disappointment because you're going to realize if you picked pile three, the development of your mastery and power puts you on a level beyond other people who don't wish to get on your level. And you're not forcing people to get on your level, but it's not really like a feel sad card. It's just like a bittersweet moment where it's like, okay, like the development that I've put in my life is taking me to places that other people will not be willing to follow. And that's going to be this bittersweet place where it's like, okay, it's not an Eight of Cups where you're moving on. It's a Five of Cups where you're legitimately letting go of certain dreams or stuff that you thought. And it looks bad at first, but it's necessary baggage and weight you're releasing. Okay, that's definitely going to help you move forward. And I love the Virgo. It's very somber. It doesn't sugarcoat. It gave everyone very real cards. Farah. Okay, once again, for those of you who want live readings, let me know. And then right after this, I'm going to jump right into the full moon in Aquarius. So Farah, we do have the Empress. This is you, Queen. This is you tapping into the goddess within and expressing your beauty. She's ruled by Venus. So the underlying theme of this is to stand in your beauty. Before you make any decision, ask yourself, what would the goddess within me do? Okay, how do I express my inner beauty? And the main card that we have here is the Nine of Cups. Let's go. Abundance and your wish come true. So this entire Mars and Virgo transit, remember, this is the main card we had for everyone, or the underlying theme we have for everyone. Make a wish right now. What is it that you want? What does satisfaction feel for you? Because you're going to be standing in your full Empress as you receive every single one of your heart's desires. Beautiful period to practice the law of assumption, okay? Because you're going to start to see the details of how this comes through in for you, okay? And for what that's worth, it is very amazing, all right? With that being said, Carrie, we do know that as a Cancer rising, Mars is going to transit your third house. And as an Aries sun, Virgo is your sixth house. So this is really awesome because your awareness of mastering your behavior, you're going to change your attitude around how much more confident you live your lifestyle. You're going to be developing skills that perfect the techniques you socially express. So your attitude towards others, how much more critically you break through the BS, it's going to really add more assertiveness in how on point, especially with Mercury, you're critically bringing the receipts. And this is beautiful because once again, you have perfect mastered skills. Third house Virgo is no joke. And it does really speak of a critical mindset. But because your sun is in Aries, you're able to integrate that critical mindset in ways that open up so much more power for you and so much more, development in ways that really go a long way. Okay. So once again, it's really a lot to look forward to, but it's also a lot that's going to put you in the position to, with the sun coming out of your second house, as you strengthen the qualities of your own talents, express such before Libra changes the comfort you have partnering with people. So this Virgo transit is taking everything you've been activating since last year, and like the way you perfect every single one of your skills, it's almost going to be unrecognizable. And that's once again a lot to look forward to. All right. And Christoph, huge respect, huge respect. I really appreciate this investment. We know that you have your sun in Cap, let's get it, moon in Aries, so you're the original director, and your rising is in Libra. So that's the first thing we need to talk about. With your rising in Libra, you are unlocking your personality. And Libra risings, as well as Libra suns, your essence is being used as the balancing effect to direct the right partnerships with people. You're effectively taking your class and charm and you're polishing raw talent. So there's that dynamic, but we also have to take into account that with Virgo, 12th house from you, the philosophical element, because Virgo is ninth house of philosophy to your Cap sun. So the philosophical approach, and that's what makes Capricorn gangster to me. Capricorn's philosophical approach is Virgo. That's why they could be a bit of some assholes. It's not that they're entirely assholes, because they can be when they want to. It's that when you talk to Capricorn and you don't give them facts, that's what they move off of. Cardinal is action. Their philosophical approach is perceptual. And so they believe in facts. They want literal, practical facts so that they can move in integrity with what's real. And that's what I respect about that. So this philosophical approach is what you're transcending and releasing as a Libra rising. It's putting you in a position during this period to completely transform unconscious habits around how you socialize with others and what kind of analysis and facts your socialization with others brings up into focus, especially with the sun here, relative to how you take action with people, how you present and balance your personality. And you're super powerful because you have triple cardinality. So you are like an emperor of power. And this is putting you in a position with the Leo season energy and the Venus retrograde to transform a lot of how your behavior and trust of your friends influence what hidden qualities and hidden talents you'll be breaking through. And I really hope this resonates with you, because everything about this attitude and perception adjustment is going to direct what direction you move towards in Libra, where you now move into the direction that you feel more representative of your personality, because the Virgo season brought you details of, oh, okay, these are the facts of how I move with people and what I may not have been aware of and how I can change what I believe. All right. On top of that, it's also important to know that since you are a part of the new generation here, right? Wait, hold on. Yep, Pluto Sag. Since you are part of the new generation here, spark of the new concepts of the world, the North Node, so close to your Saturn, is already going to be bringing very important karmic lessons during this period to challenge how your influence directly with other people impacts more so the beliefs you have about socializing. Because you're going to realize during this period your effect on these mastered skills whereas before might have influenced them a certain way, influence them so much more powerfully now. So it's like, wow, like I have a greater effect. Now what I used to believe before is not the same. Beautiful. All right. That's the live readings. You guys stay blessed as always. I'm going to see you in the next live so we can do this ceremony. Y'all stay blessed as always. And until next time.